Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world.
Hello, friends. So, one of the greatest thinkers in this age, and by that I mean a man who was wise beyond both politics and beyond conventional wisdom, was Abraham Lincoln, who served as the 16th President of the United States from 1861 until his assassination in 1865. Lincoln was a unique man. He had many leadership qualities. He had a variety of life experiences, including major losses and grief in his life. And then he was saddled with a war he did not want, a war that destroyed his great country by ripping it in two, a war that saw more death and destruction in his home and heart than anyone could possibly imagine. And Lincoln survived that war. He survived all the criticism, all the animosity, but really, he never fully healed from it. For him, it was a no-win scenario with horrible scars even unto his death. So he survived a series of personal tragedies as well as this war that both defined his character and his legacy for all eternity. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, he was a deep and insightful thinker who, especially given the times and circumstances, proved to be a wise and judicial man, concerned with the life, liberty, and happiness of all. So here are 10 quotes attributed to Abraham Lincoln. Reflect on these and let me know in the comments what you think. First, you can fool all of the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. This is the classic adage that every politician should know. The trouble is that politicians still haven't learned it. Even after hundreds of years of history, they still try to fool us all. Second, to ease another's heartache is to forgive one's own. Lincoln was correct with this summary of how to deal with your struggles and heartaches. The best way to work through your problems is to help others with theirs. Third, most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. Lincoln knew that character is, to a great degree, dependent upon your own attitudes and outlook on life. And he knew that no matter what, if you decide to be happy, lo and behold, you'll be much more likely to be happy and happy throughout life. Fourth, he has the right to criticize who has the heart to help. Lincoln knew that everyone criticizes and that everyone is open to criticism, but he was especially concerned because he knew that there is an unjustified criticism, especially by people who are born critical or who are habitually critical or who have secondary agendas versus positive feedback that was earned by people who actually get involved to help out. Fifth, I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place would be proud of him. So to Lincoln, one's community meant everything. And the best way to show this was to be proud of your community and to live, act, and behave in such a way that your community would be proud of you too. And today, that's not as common as you would think. Sixth, nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Lincoln was all about two things, character and traditional morals and values, and he also saw and knew what power could do to a man and what absolute power could absolutely do to a man. And he always cautioned against men turning evil simply because of the use and misuse of power. Seventh, those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. Again, for anyone, if you look for the bad, you will find it, because no one is perfect. And there are people who, unfortunately, always look for the bad and only the bad, never giving credit to the good things a person does. And so Lincoln was just acknowledging this. Eighth, to destroy your enemies, make them your friends. Lincoln had a different way of looking at and behaving towards people. He really never saw people as enemies, even as political opponents and rivals. He didn't take it personally, and it was his mission to work with all people and to do this first and foremost by reaching out and making people his personal friends. And for Lincoln, this wasn't a strategy, it was his outlook on life. Ninth, My dream is of a place and a time where America will once again be seen as the last best hope on earth. Lincoln was a patriot. He knew that America was blessed and thought that blessing should be shared by all men. He also knew that the Constitution, the freedoms, and the values that America upheld at that time could be models for life and governments for all nations. He only wanted to restore America, not to a point of glory, but as a beacon of hope for all nations. And 10th, sir, my concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. Lincoln was what they called a God-fearing man. He knew God and the Bible and based much of his thought and wisdom upon actions which would conform with what he thought God would want. And that isn't a bad thing, putting God first in both his personal and professional life. So these were a few of the philosophies and values of Abraham Lincoln, one of the few men who through politics and leadership actually did change America for the better. And trust me, we could certainly use more leaders like him now and well into the future. Hey, be safe, be well, and may God bless.